Welcome back to Seamless Xtra as we continue to explore the latest trends and innovations in the world of digital commerce.
Hi Kartik, welcome to Seamless Extra. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you so much. It's been our 6th year together at Seamless, and it's been a fantastic journey. My
I
best
know, I
wishes for
know.
this year as well.
Yes, we've worked now together for 6 years, which is great. And it's great to have you here on our platform, Seamless Extra. Before we start our discussion, Kartik, maybe you can just give a brief introduction about yourself and your role.
Thank you. Yeah, sure, Micah. I work with Al-Faisaliah Group in the Kingdom as a Chief Digital Officer responsible for digital transformation and direct-to-consumer channels for a wide variety of businesses, including brands like Sony, PlayStation, Panasonic, Hitachi in the consumer audio, video, gaming, home appliances, small domestic appliances, and services business. Quantum change over my last assignment in the service in the fashion business, but I think it's a beautiful journey, beautiful geography, and there's so much to do in the region that I think it offers a unique challenge for all the retail professionals in around here.
It is, like you mentioned, challenges, and there's also a lot of opportunities within the region. That's why it's exciting to be talking about, the latest trends that's happening. And talking about trends, as you know, as we know, one of the biggest trends is omnichannel. And omnichannel is a buzzword that's been around for such a long time now. Many have said that omnichannel is dead, while some say that it's not going anywhere. So I just wanted to know what's your thoughts on this? What would you say is the current state of omnichannel in the retail and e-commerce industry?
So I generally have a beautiful anecdote for omnichannel. Omnichannel retail is a lady that everyone wants to date. Not a lot of people can either convince her for a dinner, and not a lot of people can afford her. That's the challenge. And which is why you hear a lot of stories about, oh, this is dead. It's not actually dead. There are a lot of successful companies that have established a very strong omnichannel presence. If you look at businesses like Sharaf DG, if you look at
Mm,
businesses like Xtra, or for that matter, Majid Al Futtaib's Carrefour, they have been thoroughly bred into the ecosystem of omnichannel. Businesses like ours, which are large businesses to a 2.5, 3 billion scale, are now embarking on this journey. And I think omnichannel is the way. It's about adjustments in your business ecosystem that one needs to do. Historically, everybody thought omnichannel was to have one store and one website. It's not about having
mm,
a store and a website. It's about driving synergies to seamlessly manage the experience. And as businesses, when you change your mindset from either being a retailer who owns a store or a website into an aggregator of a consumer who's trying to make the customer's journey easy, omnichannel becomes that much more easy for you. Take an example of a brand like Argos. Argos
yeah.
does a beautiful job in the UK of having a store historically which was 15,000 square feet into a 1,500 square feet, shows one product, displays 10 on a tab, make sure that by the time you finish shopping and reach home, your products have reached home. Now, that
Mm,
is what I call omni-channel service delivery. Or somebody like an AO.com. It doesn't have any store, it only has its website. It makes sure that the nearest LG store delivers the product, or a nearest Samsung store sends the washing machine and somebody gives you a demo. That's what I call a thorough experience in an omni-channel ecosystem. So if you are able to make a customer's journey shorter, faster, more streamlined and convergent compared to his visit of going to a mall, you've succeeded in it. I wouldn't say omnichannel, everybody's arrived, everybody's been there, but a lot of companies who've invested 4, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, either would have failed a few times or are now learning from their mistakes and sharpening the saw. Sharaf
yeah.
DG Extra did it better. Some of us are learning how to do it.
Yeah, and like what you said, omnichannel is such like a beautiful journey. Like you mentioned a few keywords that you've mentioned about the mindset, and if you change your mindset that you're not just a brick and mortar store, you're not just a website, but like excuse the pun, but if you converge both journeys seamlessly, then I think you're winning within the omnichannel race anyway. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and you mentioned Kartik, obviously at the start of the introduction, one of your main role is to lead the digital transformation. Now, apart from omnichannel, the other trends that's happening in the industry is the technologies that are popping up as buzzwords. For you, what are the top technologies that you believe are truly changing and, forever advancing the digital transformation within the industry?
So I generally appear on a lot of forums and shows, and believe you me, this is one question that I hear every day. And everybody
Mm.
wants me to say Chat GPT is the buzzword and the answer to the world is Chat GPT and artificial intelligence. I think the region GCC, I would say, is one generation still a little too far ahead from the behind the Chat GPT and AI curve. And to strengthen, especially in a geography like Saudi, I'll give you
Mm.
a background. In a geography like Saudi, with 27, 30 million people living in and the population growing faster in terms of its affluence, I do not want to be seen as a retailer with so many assets and so many stores. I would want to be seen as an aggregator of consumers, a gatekeeper of consumers. And hence,
Mm.
as a retailer or as a business for me, getting my CRM, CDP, MarTech, consumer mapping, database creation, journey management technology is what I consider my immediate priority and my immediate requirement in the
Yeah.
next 6 months. Once I have my recency frequency map, once I have my predictive logics around who's going to shop where, how much can I draw the max, how much can I maximize his value, how does his experience link to his shopping and his referrals and his rewards in my network, I would have optimized that part, and hence I would have put my business on a strong, steady state pedestal where it will keep running on its own. And then I would go in to build my artificial intelligence and machine learning as necessary tools to sharpen
Mm.
myself. At the moment, I'm building the grounds, building the platform for the business, and hence this
Okay.
entire logic of MarTech and CDP is the most important. The second technology innovation that everybody is talking about, which I very strongly believe in, is moving the e-commerce journeys from the traditional elimination journeys into a very strong intent driven journey. We
Mm-hmm.
expect that a consumer, when he comes on the website, when you throw an entire catalog open to him, he knows what he wants to buy. While contrary to the belief is a consumer comes to the website to understand what does the website offer to him. So
Yeah.
like say a traditional salesman that goes into a sari shop in India, the salesman should be able to show the products and help the consumers decide. And that's what an intent journey does. Airbnb has mastered this art of building an intent driven
Yes.
journey.
Yeah.
Home Depot and Booking.com are more or less close to those journeys. And that's a second technology innovation that everybody should be talking about. I'm focusing on that as a second pivot in my overall digital journey. So, yeah, these are my two key takes for the technology in 2024.
I think that's an amazing angle that you've mentioned there. Like what you said, there's Chat GPT, there's machine learning, there's AI that you would assume would be the top technology. But I do like how you would always bring it back to the consumers. So, what does the consumer want? Or like what you said, you gave an example about Booking.com, Airbnb. I go to the website and I don't know the home that I want to stay in, but I'm just shopping around and then seeing what's available on the website. And then that's when I would make the decision. So I think that's an angle that is really interesting, that using your website not just as as like a channel for sales, but also like for enticing and just being like, you don't want to buy, but come buy because we're amazing here. We've got the data. Yeah.
So the science is called the decision science. You
Mm.
don't ask a consumer to shop, you help the consumer decide. When the
Yeah.
consumer starts deciding on your website and starts eliminating what he or she doesn't want, he ultimately lands up on the product of his choice. And that joy of discovering the right product suited for me, which we call as solution selling, increases your conversion compared to me throwing a plethora of 100,000 products on your face and telling you go pick up what you like.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
doesn't help a consumer.
And I think the consumers nowadays are very smart. They're very tech savvy. They know exactly whether you're just selling for the sake of selling, or are you actually caring about your products, and like what you said, solution selling. So you're making us, help decide what we want to buy. And as well, you mentioned that one of your role is you're leading the direct-to-consumer omnichannel portfolio for one of the largest gaming, consumer audio, video, and home appliances business for brands like Sony, Panasonic, Hitachi within the Al-Faisaliah group. What's your advice on executing a successful transformational roadmap that consolidates multiple in-store and online businesses into a linear direct omni-channel D2C operation?
Oh, this is extremely critical for any business that goes on this journey, because what comes on a strategy document or what comes on a theory document is very different from how the world opens up when you start executing it. And getting
Mm,
your ducks lined up, which is your people process technology, is very, very important. Generally, the businesses that are in this phase love to work on the fly, that we will keep evolving as we move. it doesn't work necessarily unless you have the basic building blocks in place. That's one. So get your people, process, technology in place. That's one. Second, build, plan, do, check mechanism, which means you plan something, you do something, and you always have measures, KPIs, and milestones that you continuously check against, especially in the transformation journey. If you miss your couple of milestones, you're suddenly realizing that backloading becomes that much more difficult and your business numbers will not meet with your transformation journey. So that's one. Keep your business asset light. Do not try and build up assets or inventories. It's an old and conventional way of doing business. You're no longer in the business of holding TVs in your warehouse or holding t-shirts in your warehouse. You are in the business of being in a consumer's mind. Own the consumer's mind, don't own the inventory, which is a very, very standard. Third, very critical is we used to historically work on a very strong upper funnel discovery where brands had millions of dollars to pour in the market and say, let me get consumers' mind share. Consumer is a very fickle-minded person today. He loves everyday trends. Just because brand X was popular 6 months ago and they spent billions, it's not going to be in the consumer's mind forever. Tomorrow, if somebody does something new and different, that brand will get positioned in the consumer's mind. So continuously evolve, continuously move with changes. Get away from the conventional upper funnel into more influencer, content-driven, content democratization, convergence 2.0, communications ecosystem. So it's people, process, technology, asset-light businesses, milestones and KPIs, and strong continuous communication is what I would suggest to businesses or to young leaders who are embarking on this journey. And more importantly, be ready to fail. Nobody will get it right the first time. They'll get it right maybe the third or the fourth time. And hence, it's important to build that transparency with your business leadership where you build set expectations right and get everybody involved for the long haul. You cannot get involved for a 6-month period and pull the plug on it. It'll look like a half-cooked chicken.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I would recommend it to businesses.
No, that's great because I think obviously when we do talk about it in Seamless as well, everyone talks about like the journey, especially at the start of the journey. But what people also forget to talk about is like what you said, the KPIs that need to be in place, and even how about testing it, because obviously all of this cost money, cost time, cost
Absolutely.
effort, and like what you said, it's when you do the KPI, when you do the testing, so then what's the what's the risk with that? But I suppose if you want something good in reward, then you have to take some risk for that one.
Willingness to change is a very important criteria, very important mindset. People who typically, and I've noticed this in a lot of businesses, people who have digital leaders or omnichannel leaders are typically in their mid 40s, probably my age. Now, at that age, they have been so hard boiled into a way of doing business that the nimble-footedness that is expected, that if you get it wrong once, it's okay, move on to a new plan. Don't get stuck to a plan and continue to prove to yourself and the world that you were right. If things don't work, it didn't work. Move to something else. Eliminate the choices and start working. That nimble-footedness, agility, problem-solving mindset is the most critical factor around getting this entire ecosystem right.
Yes, and I think one of the harsh truth that you mentioned is sometimes a brand can spend a lot of money on the advertising of the products, but then it links back to the questions of how loyal are consumers now to a specific brand. Are they loyal because of the price, or because is it actually within the brand, the loyalty? So I mean, one more question, what's your thoughts on like today's loyalty anyway?
I think today's consumer is loyal to two critical elements: convenience and services. Pricing goes without saying. The difference with so many products being bought and consumed, probably the older logic of KVI, where me knowing the price of my 2-liter Al-Rawabi milk can is also something that is not certain. Today, I wouldn't even remember the price of my can because I buy it all on noon 15 minutes. So loyalty is not about pricing alone. Loyalty is about who does it faster, who does it better, and who does it consistently. It's not just bigger, better, and bolder. It's bigger, better, bolder, and consistent. Who does this consistently? And that's why probably I draw a leaf from successes like noon 15 minutes. Noon 15 minutes might not be a profitable proposition for all we know. But the fact that it has driven consumers being hooked to a noon app where the consumption per consumer has moved from 4 to 5 visits a month into somebody like me visiting 40 times a month. I'm on the app almost every day. Now that is what is necessity driven, experience driven, service driven, consistency driven loyalty. And that loyalty is likely to stay much longer than anything else.
Okay, that's a very, very good point. So just to wrap up then, Kartik, with the discussion, just for our audience who are listening, what would your top advice be for digital leaders in the industry on how to embrace consumer mindset while also getting the balance right to be a technology first culture?
So technology first, a lot of people again ask me, because I'm in the tech space, a lot of people ask me, how would you differentiate your business? Technology is not going to be a differentiator. Technology is democratized. Adobe Experience Cloud is something that everybody can buy. Whoever's willing to pay $120,000, they'll be able to buy Adobe Experience Cloud. Whoever's willing to pay $500,000 for a top SI based out of Europe will be able to get the same implemented as well. So don't let technology be a differentiator. Be your consumer journeys, your consumer insights, be your user experience, be a differentiator. Get it right. It's no longer a product that sells. It's the Convergence 2.0 ecosystem where product, services, engagement, and experience, all four of them merge together into creating a Convergence 2.0. So every young digital leader needs to move away from technology being the messiah to the customer journey being the messiah. It's not the machine, it's the man behind the machine that matters. So get the user experience right, get the right people in your business built accordingly, and get your business model sharper enough. Cost light, nimble footed, agile business models are what are here to survive, what are here to stay. Invest in SaaS based technologies. Do not get into heavy license technologies. Companies
Mm.
would not be willing to invest that long. The gestation period or the mindset, what used to be 3-4 years for a technology platform, has now come down to 3 months. Things move in 3 months. So stay that much lighter, that much nimble footed.
Amazing. Okay, well, thank you so much, Kartik, for sharing your insights and your knowledge with our audience. So we are 1 week away from Seamless Middle East happening 14th, 15th, and the 16th of May. And you will be doing a keynote panel on day one, 14th of May. So we will see you there.
Thank you so much. And I look forward to being with all of you on 14th of May. My best wishes to the team and thank you once again.
Thanks, Kartik.
Thank you.